Alright, this is a 2012 EX with the SX paddle shifters. There's been a lot of concern about how to do it. I'll give you a quick how-to. Start by taking off the airbag assembly. There is 3 little holes in the back plastic cover. There's one here, one on the bottom, and one on the side. All you do is take a little flathead screwdriver, it's going to be fairly tiny to fit through the holes. You just push it in the hole, just push it straight in. You have to wiggle it around a little bit and you'll feel it hit a catch. It's a spring. You just do it for the 3 sides. The airbag comes out. One very important thing, disconnect the battery for at least 5 minutes prior to doing this, because you cannot unplug the airbag until it's been discharged. And on the back of the airbag you have your horn, and then you have your 2 airbag wires. Just take a little screwdriver, pop these orange tabs up. They don't require a lot of force. These unplug. They are color coded, blue and yellow, so it's not possible to plug them back in wrong, so there's no worries about that. Alright, to actually take the steering wheel off, you want to reach in first. Look at that camera. Alright. Inside here, you're going to see 2 plugs up here. A black one and a white one. You need to unplug the white one. You don't need to worry about the black one. So unplug the white one, and then you'll need a 22mm socket, which I have here. That's all the wiring you need to unplug is that one white plug. So put the camera back over here. Alright, take the 22mm socket. It's easier if you make sure the wheel's centered when you're going to take it off. Take your nut off. Be a little lock washer behind it. If you can't get it off with your fingers, it's not a big deal. You can get it off when you pull the steering wheel. Alright, as you get the steering wheel off, just grab, kind of wiggle and pull. Taking care to guide the airbag wires back out, so don't just yank it off the rest of the way. And you should be left with just a clock spring. Here's a little lock washer I was telling you about. That's all that's required to take the steering wheel off. 5 minutes of time and a little force. One thing is very important when you have the steering wheel assembly off, do not rotate this around, because if you get it around and out of alignment, you're going to have a problem when you try to put everything together. So it's very important to leave this. During this project, there's nothing really you need to do with this. Everything you need to do is on the wheel. So, alright, for the wheel, if you look here, you'll see these bolts. There's screws. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Take those screws out and this back cover assembly comes out. Alright, I'm not going to take this all apart because I'm just showing you guys how to do it. It's really simple. This plastic cover comes out. The holes for the paddle shifters are already in the wheel, so you don't need to modify the wheel at all. You're just going to get yourself 4 screws. I believe they're 6mm. It's been a little while since I've done this. The only thing you will have to modify is you're going to have to make these slits. So this is going to be all solid. You're not going to see any of this. So you're going to have to take a knife and modify this plastic and make it fit. Unfortunately, like I know some people have seen the Sonatas that have done this, you can go to Hyundai and buy this cover with these holes already in it. For whatever reason, Kia doesn't do that. The only way you can get this cover with these holes is to buy the whole steering wheel, which is kind of counterproductive. So just take a knife, make your slits, be careful. And then this wiring harness is different in the paddle shifter models. So when you order the harness, make sure you get one for paddle shifters without heated steering wheel. So with paddle, no heat. You can, if you want, you can try to change your old harness, because your old harness will be missing a few wires, and all you really need to do is put those wires in the harness. But these little pins are extremely difficult to get out without damaging the harness. I tried, and I ended up ruining it. So, you know, it's worth it to spend the $30 and just get the right harness and not have to deal with it. All you'll do is you'll just unplug all the accessories. You won't need to take any of this stuff off. You can do it all from the back. Just unplug your accessories and then put the new harness in and route it. It's just plug and play. Alright, and then you'll have the correct wires you need in here already. All the wiring is already in that clock spring if you do not have the heated steering wheel. The only thing that is missing is there is supposed to be a ground wire in the clock spring that runs down into the BCM. For whatever reason in the Optimas, it's not there. So instead of messing with running a ground wire all the way through your steering column, which is a real pain in the butt, all I did was identify which of these is supposed to have a ground, which is the orange wire with a black stripe. I just used a little Scotch lock, grounded it, and put a bolt right there and grounded it right to the wheel. Works great, no problems. And this, I mean, like I said, it's a 3 to 6 inch wire. It's not in the way, it doesn't hurt anything. You just find a bolt that screws into one of your existing holes here, and you're a done deal. Then just put it back together. Minus on the left, positive on the right, and that's all there is to it. And I'll show you how to put it back together real quick and we'll be done. Put it back together. First, just put your airbag wires through this hole here. Make sure you get them in the top hole. Steering wheel on. This is why it's easier to get it centered, because you don't want to put it on crooked. That's all there is to it. Plug your white wire or your white harness back in. Lock washer, don't forget, very important. Your 22mm nut. Got it on there. Okay. Make sure everything's plugged in. And I know right now a lot of people will be tempted to see if it works before they put everything back together. Under no circumstances can you start the car or put the battery back together with that airbag disconnected, or you're going to throw a hard code and you're going to have to take a trip to Kia to get it changed. So, I mean, I know you want to test it to make sure everything works, but just do not do this with the airbag unplugged. No power until the airbag is plugged back in. Alright, so airbag wires go in this little harness here. Blue to blue, yellow to yellow. Push your orange tabs back in, locks everything in place. Don't forget to hook your horn back up. Alright, and then all you do is kind of make sure your wires are out of the way of those spring locks. Put it in there, push. That's it, you're done. And we connect the battery again. We got power. Start the car. That's our radar detector if anybody's wondering what the noise is. Alright. And a nice thing, my trunk's open. Put in drive. Put it over to sport mode. You see the one. Paddle shifter up, paddle shifter down. Paddle shifter up, paddle shifter down. Works fine, just like it was factory. The nice thing is when you're driving down the road, the paddle shifters work. They'll go into sport mode without you actually having to move the gear shifter over. And just to confirm, because I know I have the SX dash, I changed that out as well. This is an EX motor. 2.4. Car is an EX. Just has a lot of SX goodies. Any questions? PM me. Thanks.